Every Sunday, you guys would come over. We had to give up hanging out with our friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes even missing some meals.
The arguments that we've had, the struggles that we've had, all the preparation, the hours that we've spent, not even recorded.
We stay up until like 1 a.m. sometimes.
Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bros Think Big podcast. This is the show where we talk about the simple and yet complicated ideas of self-improvement. Tune in and join us as we become the best versions of ourselves, so you guys can too. Remember to like and subscribe for more.
Yep. First, I want to mention it's Josh's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, guys.
Let's go! Happy birthday!
He's turned 17 years old today, guys. Let's go. He's not legal yet.
Bro's pushing 20.
Yes, he is.
2 decades already. It's crazy.
Yeah, 2 decades now. I wish health and happiness, health and tranquility
Tranquility.
to
Yeah.
everybody.
I think we're supposed to wish that.
Let them know what that means. That's a big word.
Bro's wishing himself stuff.
Peace.
It's always nice to bless everyone. I'd say.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Guys, we have a very interesting topic for you guys. The dark truth of self-improvement. I feel like a lot of people talk about what to do in self-improvement, but nobody really gets to the struggles and the truth about self-improvement.
No, it leaves a false expectation, to be honest. Like, because you'll see these these TikTok slideshows and shit like that saying about
They're so motivating
becoming the
too.
best version. Yeah, but they don't tell you the hours
Yeah.
you got to put into yourself. They don't tell you the struggle, the loneliness, even the sacrifices of all. We're just trying to give you guys a realistic expectation of what this is, but
Yeah.
That's what I want to. The key word, like expectation.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what kind of the word that we want to base this episode around.
Through what we have experienced, I think we all have experienced some sort of dilemma. I
Yeah.
think maybe
Mental
the right word is
struggle.
mental
We've all
struggle.
we've all struggled.
And I think
all of
sharing
us.
it,
course.
all of us sharing our problems is going to help you guys simply understand what it truly is
Yeah.
like. Because we don't see this enough.
Because honestly, I think you won't really know what it is about until you actually get on the self-improvement journey.
Yeah.
You won't understand how hard it is.
that's what I know. That's so true. You'll hear people talking about it, but until you get on yourself, that's when it is. I feel like we should start with sacrifices.
Do you think we should go in a full circle and explaining our worst struggle, or
Let's just talk about what
We could, or-
we've, like sacrificed.
Or Mike could start us off.
Yeah, Mike.
This was your idea.
Mike, why don't you give us your story? as
Well,
to-
I'll give us our story first. This is with the podcast. We've been doing this for how long? Like 9, 8, 9, 10 months.
Probably, yeah.
I
Close
don't
to,
know.
yeah.
No, we did-
Close to
I
a
think
year,
it's
maybe.
It's a year.
Not yet. What?
It's November, right? We started
Close to a
last
year.
summer.
We started in.
our
January,
first episode
February.
was out
Something like
February,
that.
But we
Oh,
Dude,
you guys
remember
started.
how-
Okay.
Dude, it is almost a year.
Yeah,
He's right.
yeah,
It's almost a year.
It's almost been a year,
Yeah.
and look how far we've.
And it doesn't
gotten.
even feel like it.
And like the viewer, they don't know like about the arguments that we've had, the struggles that we've had, all the preparation, the hours that we've spent, not even recording, just talking about things that need
Even
to be
after
talked
the
about.
podcast, we would stay up until like 1 a.m. Sometimes.
Yeah,
1
we
a.m.
would stay up.
And
I
don't say we used to. We still do.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right,
really
right.
like
We
that
still
still,
do,
bro.
yes.
This isn't a thing where once you start to see that build up of success, you stop all of a sudden.
Yeah.
No, like if anything, we're close
gets
to pushing
harder.
more hours
Exactly.
in now because of all the new editing tricks we're trying to learn and all the new thumbnail things, everything like that. You can't stop.
Of course.
Once you get to this point.
Yeah, we're definitely not perfect though. Like we definitely have a lot of work to do still.
I think we should remember the first video when we tried posting it.
If I could, I would bring up bring back the first ever clip we made on Instagram. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I'll have to. I recently archived it just so if anyone's. No. I left it on the page. What I did. Remember you asked. We had. What I did is
I did the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, I left the first 2 clips. And I'm actually, I think we should put them up just to show them like what we started and how far.
Yeah.
We're going to play that right now, guys.
I was in like a dark forest. He couldn't see anything, but he had this guardian angel with him.
I think that's my greatest accomplishment. Leaving those 2 clips. It's kind of just a reminder for us, dude.
The first time, when we did first post our video, we were actually so hyped and so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you remember how long it took?
Yeah, it took us like days and weeks.
We had to call our friend Mo to help us post the video because it was like 12, right? We were struggling to post it.
We were at your guys' house, right?
Right.
Yeah, you came over, we posted, and I even have that video.
Yeah.
I was like, we made it, boys. Or I think Josh was. And I was like, we made it, boys.
Let's go.
We made it, baby.
It was just so exciting. Our first ever video, our first ever podcast.
And did you remember before we posted that video, we were rewatching, so everything was fine.
Yeah.
And we were like laughing because like how many times we were just messing up when we were talking, using the word like. Yes.
Josh came in like the fucking one day. He's like, you guys said this many times. You guys said like this
Yeah,
many
it's like
times.
writing it down.
I had it on my phone. I had it written down in notes talking about that.
And we still do. You know what I mean?
And that's
When you
okay.
talk,
Yeah, of course. And that's okay.
But I think, especially for the topic we want to talk, I think we should definitely delve into it before that first episode released, because that's what the audience sees. Like, this is the whole point of this video, is the audience only saw the first video. But if you guys recall, especially, I think it was me and Sash versus the brothers versus brothers logo debate.
Oh yes.
I don't know. That was probably the most.
I
heated
wouldn't have
debate.
said.
Were you in it? No,
I don't think it was a brother thing. It was me and you.
It was the
it
new
was-
one,
it
Josh.
was me and you.
Don't bring them two into it. It was you
Me and
two.
Georgie chilling, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what the- Nah, but dude, if you're gonna bring up the logo, fuck that. Talk about the LED light.
We
One
always touch
whole
up on
I thank God I wasn't there for that
yeah,
shit.
dude, one whole fucking month of
more.
LED
It
lights.
was like
yeah.
2 months.
Yeah, and then once we get the shit figured out, 2 months later we have to switch into this room. Fuck that, bro.
And next thing you know, the first thing they said, the lighting isn't good, and we did all that for LEDs just for the light to look good.
But
Instead.
it wasn't. But it wasn't.
Yeah, you guys can literally they can watch our first episode and see the lighting.
Yeah, yeah, it was- yeah, it
it's
was-
green and musky. It's like musty in there.
Can't see our faces.
Dude,
You can't see our
when
faces.
sometimes I forget who the
was
guest
crazy.
was. There was a guest that came in here once. I think it was Michael. He said, I asked him, I'm like, are you familiar with our videos? He said, yeah, I watched your first one. I cried. I cried, dude. I actually fucking cried. I was like,
Wait, cried with what? Like, how did he cry?
No, I cried. I cried. What the fuck? Out of all the videos, you chose to watch the very first.
It actually is the one that if you search us up on Google, that's the video.
Man.
Hey,
It's 'cause it has
hey.
most views.
I'm actually so proud of that video, though.
Me too.
Even though I wasn't even in it, like the preparation and what it took to get there is actually.
Remember
it's
before
so
we even
beautiful.
started filming, like we literally had to set up what we were gonna say,
Yeah.
how we were gonna start it, and then like I mean personally, I was like the first time we recorded, I wasn't even like I couldn't say anything because I was like really camera shy and I didn't really know what to say.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like stopped that video. We went out to eat, and then when we came back, I kind of like started like opening up and started speaking more. But like it was just a struggle of getting used to the cameras and the filming, and us just giving like because we really wanted to inspire people, and it was really hard for us to do everything in a complicated, because like the cameras are filming, you don't know what to say, you don't know how to say, and then it was a real struggle, bro.
Yeah.
I think it was really
And
hard.
it was 13 minutes long, that episode.
Yeah, and now
13 minutes.
like 2 hours sometimes. We get
Now
up
we
to 2
can't
hours.
even stop ourselves from going what 50 an hour, like an
Yeah.
hour now.
Yeah,
Over 1
it's
hour.
crazy.
Yeah, but anyways,
It's beautiful though.
I want to touch up on what it took, kind of like as far as what we sacrificed,
Yeah.
because I believe you guys came over once every Sunday, right? Or was it once every 2 Sundays at that time? Because we're saying like it took
I think
3
it was every
months.
Sunday. I think it
Yeah,
was
we're
every
saying
Sunday.
3 months, but you guys only came over
Yeah.
like once every Sunday, and we didn't have anything fully preparated. We literally just unleashed the first video when it looked like
Yeah.
that, and that kind of speaks for itself. But every Sunday, you guys would come over.
Yeah.
What did we have to give up? We had to give up hanging out with our friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes even missing some meals, especially for people who are.
You
up-
and you bitch, bro. You were fucking.
Oh yeah, I remember. He was like,
Dude,
"Oh yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna- we're
bulking,
gonna
but I'm
talk
missing
about
my meal."
Sasha in
So
the beginning.
yeah,
I
that is
did
part of the
complain-
sacrifice.
I did complain about that a lot. Yeah, I did not because.
But you sacrificed it at the end of the day, so you know.
I did. It's time. It was
Yeah.
sleep. It was literally
Definitely
anything
sleep,
else.
bro. I remember at the end of the episodes, like we'd all be talking, like you'd just be like so fucking tired. You have to go to school the next day, and it's
Bro,
like 1 a.m.
I'm not gonna lie. When you guys would stay until 1 a.m., I was out of bed at like 11:30. Done. I'm gone. Like I could not do that shit.
Yeah.
I had to get up at 6:30 in the morning every time. I don't want to talk about that, please.
Bro, like now that I'm thinking, no one really wants to do anything on Sundays, and we did it for every fucking Sunday. Think about it.
And we still do it
And
every
it is
Sunday.
the
Yeah.
least-
And we
Yeah.
still do.
Yeah.
And like the idea of this is that since we had this desire to get on this self-improvement journey so that we could teach other people, and obviously like most importantly do it for ourselves at
Yeah.
first, is like that's the whole like motivation for us to come here every Sunday and film it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what we learned and what we knew, we wanted to give it to the other people.
Yeah.
Like I think that's very powerful because you don't even, we don't even know like
half of the things
half
at
of
all.
it,
Yeah.
right? And then we're just like giving what we have.
What made this whole situation 20 times more difficult is not knowing a single podcaster.
Right.
So we had to kind of learn everything.
We didn't
by-
even know each
dude,
other.
we literally
too. That
learned
was-
that I had to do
the
everything.
connections for that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had no connections.
Mhm.
Probably the worst part. If I were to say, because we learned, I'm sure we could have maybe even quadrupled our time if we had advice.
I don't know if I'd say. I
Yes,
think the
yes,
worst part
one-
was us selling the first video.
But I do remember though in the beginning when we all said we were gonna do podcasts and stuff, me and Georgie would come over during the week. Sometimes you were working and Josh was home. We would sit down, write down the topic ideas, like some of the guests that we wanted on in the
Yeah.
future, what we would say, how the setup would look, all that kind of stuff. So that would be like the preparation before.
Yeah.
So we were all
dude.
prepared
Uh-huh.
when we released that one video. We have to know that all right, our second one is going to be this, so that way we're not thinking after our first video. It was all that kind of stuff
Along
for
with
preparation.
the Wednesday meetings we did for
Yeah,
like
exactly.
an hour, 2, 3, even sometimes.
Mhm.
Of I don't think it.
And keep in
actually
mind, me and
hit
Georgie
the
were like 30
points.
minutes away from your house and stuff, so
Yeah.
we would drive like during the week.
That's a good
Drive-
That's a big
yeah,
sacrifice for you
like,
guys.
exactly.
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunday, 30 minutes. We would be leaving like at 12. We gotta get home, eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Then, but dude, it's
You'll
it's
never
beautiful
lose
when you.
sleep Sunday nights, bro.
What?
You're like, we just have to expect to lose sleep
Yeah,
Sunday
yeah.
nights. We
And
had
it was
this
just like-
expectation.
I don't know. For me, like now that I'm thinking back and like I literally have like every single memory in my head of every Sundays we had together, and it's just like beautiful looking back at like I could literally be doing something else, but I was so like motivated, and all of us were that we were sacrificing a lot of things for this. Yeah, for this.
Yeah.
Whole
Podcast,
thing, you know
yeah.
what I mean? So, and also, dude, not to mention, like, I mean, not to mention that Mike was the only one that really knew like editing and like. I'll be honest, I'm not really like a
Yeah, that
computer
was a
freak. Josh doesn't know that stuff. You don't,
Fuck no.
right? So it's like, I mean, you don't even know. So we only had like you that really could like. They were teaching us, and it was really hard for us. You know, like we weren't really like educated with this editing, and we had to. All of us had to learn, and we just like. It was like difficult for us to edit the videos and release them on time that we had planned, like every Wednesday, and then
Now we're here.
dude, it was
And
just crazy. It's a lot of work.
I just want to say, like, you guys all, like, during that time, too, like, when I just joined being with you guys and meeting you two especially,
Yeah.
like, you guys, like, saved me, I'd say. Because I was in my self-improvement. I was, you know what I mean, by myself a lot. I didn't really have friends, like, that I could call out to and talk to. So I talked to Josh a lot during that
Once every
time.
2 months.
I not
Once
not
every
a lot,
2
but
months,
like
give me a call.
I knew Josh was starting like
Yeah.
a podcast, and like kind of like I have some tricks up my sleeve, you know what I mean? I could help him with some
Yeah.
things. And what did remember? Do you know that conversation, how that went or anything? Or
I actually
I
have
just-
no idea how I got you here. I
yeah,
have
but
no idea.
me neither.
I just remember. I just
think
remember.
because you were a taste course. I'm sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off. but
Yeah,
I think I was like, you were telling me how you were doing editing shows. Like, dude, could you? I think maybe this is a rough guess, but
I think, like-
can you teach us some of these skills?
it's something like that where I
Oh,
either
I
either
know
asked you if I
before
could
that.
help you. I think I asked if I could help you, because I think
You know what? Who fucking knows?
It doesn't matter, but regardless, like I was during that time, especially like I was by myself a lot of the time, and like it was during the winter too, and I came in late when you guys already had this all planned out, and coming here and being with you guys every Sunday is actually like highlight of my week. Probably like most likely every single week is coming here every single Sunday,
Yeah.
and struggling and doing the hard work with you guys for real.
I could really say the same. Like every Sunday, I just can't wait for Sunday to come by so I can spend time with you guys, because I can proudly say that you guys are my close friends, the only close friends that I hang out with, and I will not change that at all.
Yeah.
Part of
So-
the sacrifices, at least for me, is these are the only people I ever hang out with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
you guys are like literally like my best friends
Yeah,
for real.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't-
someone that you actually have like same goals, like same.
I
Same
haven't
kind of
had a
thoughts,
kid.
bro,
I
like,
haven't had a
literally,
guy, not
really.
a guy my age at my house, besides you guys in the past 9 months. Probably a year now. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Close
Do
to
you think?
New
Who-
Year's,
who?
New Year's, New Year's.
New Year's? This
New
New Year's?
This New Year's. We
Who
had.
was it?
Like, I don't know, all your drunk friends.
I think it was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
When did you have COVID? What did we
2
do
years
last
ago.
New
That was
Year's?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
What did we do last New Year's? That doesn't matter.
been a
Well,
long
Doesn't
regardless,
matter.
yeah,
That was
like-
2 years ago. I remember that.
Well, anyways.
At least my sacrifice,
Yeah.
I just want to mention, it's like not hanging out with friends anymore. Like the only time is I do recommend being around with guys, and that's why I'm so blessed with this podcast is when I am hanging out with you guys, it's not for shits and giggles, it's for actual growing with each other, which is
Every
an absolute
step-
blessing.
yeah,
It's absolute
Yeah.
blessing. I can't be more thankful for you guys, but
one step
and it's
forward
one of
every
the
single time. Yeah.
sacrifices. And I will tell you, it sucks. For example, last night I'm doing work at Saturday at 10 p.m. and I'm just look at stories. You can't be on social media at like 10 p.m. nowadays. And I'm sure you can relate.
That's
You
bad.
see-
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
You see
bro.
all these people just smiling, and I know it's typically they're not having that
They're
much fun,
partying.
but
They
partying,
have
it's
smiles
like-
on their face when they're at the parties. They're all
Yep,
drunk.
yep.
They look like they're having the time of their lives, right?
Exactly. And I'm like, fuck. Like, and then I catch myself. I'm like, you know what they're not doing? I am doing. I'm doing work.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
it's
better
gonna
than
pay
us.
off.
You're
Yeah,
sacrificing.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's hard.
This
It's hard.
like this type of stuff is actually fun though. This is
Yeah.
so fun. I enjoy this. I literally have a smile driving here every single time we go to do this podcast. It's so meaningful. It feels so right.
Yeah.
It's like you see those types of people on social media and stuff. It's like at the end of the day, they go home, they wake up the next day, they feel like shit. They don't even remember half the night because they're drunk. It's like I used to have nights like that. Fucking Josh is like at this fucking house. I used to have nights like that, bro. And I'm so glad I got away from that type of lifestyle, for real.
I think we'd all be breaking down if we were not supposed to do this every Sunday. Like, you just because right now I think it's like already built in us that every Sunday we have to do this. It's like that's our
It's part of our life,
dopamine
really,
and
yeah.
everything for us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like to do this every Sunday.
Yeah, and
That's how powerful it is.
I think the main takeaway here is it does take a lot, and this isn't like us saying we're gonna settle with the amount of work we put in to get here. If anything, we're gonna triple what we did and try to be exponential that difference.
I say,
And something that I want to kind of compare to is I don't know if every audience member wants to start their own podcast, but they can't really relate to that. But what they can relate to is other sacrifices. Let's think about weightlifting for a bit.
not even wait. Just think of any self.
Any
I
self-
want
yeah, of
everyone to
course,
share
but-
their biggest
yeah.
sacrifice.
Dude.
Is that what you're planning to?
Well, anything where
I
you're
want
trying
you to share
to
your
better the
sacrifice.
outcome of yourself, it's gonna take a sacrifice. If I'm bringing up weightlifting, because I'm sure that has a lot of people are trying to get into that. And let's just think about that: the time you spend in the gym, okay, the food habits that you develop, cutting out sugar, cutting out those tiny snacks that you crave for right after school, or maybe that peanut butter and jelly that you really like. Having to cut all of that out, no sugar, no satisfaction, for the betterment of what your physique is going to look like and your health. But it's worth it. It's worth it. And just like Fricker said, I think you should learn to enjoy that. I think the biggest thing is actually kind of maybe tricking your mind, if that's the right way to put it, to enjoying everything you can. Because let's be honest, of course, we did love the work and we drove to this point in the podcast so that we can inspire as many people as we can. But we are still going here today because we enjoy it.
Exactly.
That's the key thing here. And what I hear a lot of these influencers say as far as making money is you find a hobby you enjoy and you learn to monetize it. And I think that's the number one thing to go. Or maybe a skill that you were really good at and that you like, and then you find a way to monetize it. Because we would not have went like this for a year straight if we didn't enjoy what we do. If I didn't look forward to having you guys come over every Sunday, I probably wouldn't have done it. I would have said, you know what, guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to just like take the book off. Because it took us like 7 months to break 200 subscribers. So we weren't doing it for the results, clearly. We did it because we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
On our analytics, it's just like in the in the beginning, it's just like a hump, and
I
it's
think
just
it was like-
straight,
I think it was like
and then
8
it
months.
goes.
Yeah, I think it was like 8 months. That's how long it took for us.
It's
So we
really
weren't doing it
consistency.
for the results. We did it because we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Learn what you have to sacrifice.
And go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, I was just gonna say, I think the important thing with this is that, yes, it has to be fun and you have to enjoy it, but people also have to understand that at some point it's gonna get hard to the point where you don't enjoy it anymore. It's more like you're just putting in the work at that time, you know. You like that process because you know that the sacrifice will get you to where you're going after, but the fact that it's gonna get hard to a point where you might not enjoy it as much is something that has to be mentioned, because we all had that moments where we probably even thought, we were like, all right, why are we even doing this, or
Exactly.
is this even worth
Yeah,
it?
dude.
Like, we had a thought. We maybe didn't mention it all the time, but we definitely have had a thought like that. That moment, you don't really enjoy it as much. It's more of struggling.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, when some kind of results, you get some kind of results and you see something going well, you're like, oh yeah, it was worth it. Let me keep going, because another struggle that you're going to encounter, you're going to be like, all right, next thing is some kind of result. And that's what keeps you going.
Dude, and when you hit that peak, when you hit that climax, when you start questioning, why am I doing this? That's when you have to remind yourself, how bad do you want it?
Exactly.
That's the
important.
time you have to look in the mirror and you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this in the first place? What is it trying to get me to? Why am I cutting out this sugar? Why am I cutting out this fucking brownie?
Yeah.
This cosmic brownie, that processed bullshit.
Oh, hell no.
You know this? You know what I'm talking about? They used to be so fucking good. They used to be so good. But ask yourself, why am I cutting that shit out?
Is it worth it?
Dude, like,
the answer has to be yes.
dude, a lot of the times, like, we've had some tough conversations in this room, in this house in general, like, really,
arguments,
really hard arguments, and they suck. They fucking suck, dude.
And dude, it was mostly because we didn't know each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and that's
most
where the growth
arguments
happened.
was that misunderstanding.
I wouldn't say that.
What?
I wouldn't say that. I feel like we still have arguments weekly.
Right.
No, yeah, we still do,
but
like-
not as much.
Not as much.
Yeah, not as much.
And
Well, like,
bro,
arguments are
obviously
good, though. That's the thing. Like, that's difficult. Like Sadula was...
Can be good.
It can be good.
Can
But like I was saying, Sadula was literally like, when you don't want to be there, when it gets hard, you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
We've had so many conversations where I didn't even want to fucking be there, right? And I felt like shit, or someone else felt like shit. These two are arguing. I don't think it's the right. It's a lot of it's messy and chaotic.
Yeah.
And with that, if you just keep going through it, like, we laugh after, we smile at each other, we hug each other. You know what I mean? It's like that's what the beauty is. It's not even like with other people. It's with yourself too. When you're battling yourself, when you're struggling against yourself, and it's chaotic and you don't know what to do. It's after the fact, light blooms from that chaos.
And what you said is literally perfectly reminds me of what happened 2 weeks ago. Josh and Georgie were going at it, and I was sitting right here.
And you got caught the fucking smoke.
All four of them were there, dude. I was trying to listen so hard, but I was like, oh no. I pulled out my phone, looked at fantasy football, and I heard it from all four of them.
And then fucking Sadula fucking got your ass.
I'm never pulling out my phone again. No, because what happened there is I was listening to what they were thinking, what they were saying, and I was like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna escape.
This is pointless. This is what you
say. Yeah, I'm gonna escape this reality. I'm gonna go on my phone.
Keep coping, buddy.
But I was wrong. I was wrong to do that.
I have some favors between these two. I don't know.
Oh,
That same day.
yeah.
That same day,
Yeah.
dude.
We're not gonna go into context, but it was like, it was just fucking, I don't know.
No, that
It's
day
not
was
even
a-
worth
I didn't want to
going
fucking be there anymore.
No, but me especially when I went on my phone. But the thing is, I thank all four of you for because I know what I did was wrong. What I was doing is I was being selfish, and I didn't think about how the fact that you guys didn't want to be there either. Do you think Josh wants to be fucking on a Sunday, about to be night watching? He can watch football. He can do anything else. Put in more work. Do you think he wants to be here or you're arguing with Georgie? Or do you think Georgie, Sunday night, same thing, can be home in his bed relaxing, watching TikTok, wants to be out, wants to be
not
arguing?
TikTok, no.
Whatever. Wants to
YouTube.
be fucking arguing with Josh? Fuck no. But I went out of my way and I went on my phone and I didn't want to take that opportunity to get to know you guys better, or what it is that agitates you and what it is that doesn't.
I wanted to go back to what Mike said about the arguments. They bring light, and I think arguments are such a great example because it's like literally life, where sometimes you don't realize how much it benefits right away. Like, for example, great with arguments is a lot of this. I know I can personally share this. I just defend myself at times. I realize that. And after I go back from the argument and I think about it, because obviously when you have an argument, I don't have many arguments, you're going to go retrace that in your mind and see where it went wrong, where you think. And it definitely doesn't happen for me in the moment. I have to kind of think about it in the future. And it's helped so much. And I think that applies to life. Is like you said, when we are going through these struggles, you're not going to see the light right away. Sometimes you're going to be too, I don't know what the right...
You have to keep walking through that struggle in
like a
order to
foggy
see that
forest.
light.
It's foggy.
Yeah.
It's like a foggy force. But we know it's going to clear up. I just wanted to share that. I think
Those-
it's definitely...
I think that's very important.
Those words are sincere as shit. Because if there's anyone I feel bad for the most on this planet, it's our mother. And I think our mom has the strongest mental she is
Mindset?
her mental mindset is on another fucking level. Because if I had to put up with Josh and Josh argues,
that's
dude,
crazy.
if I had to put up with Josh the same way my mom did, I would have shot myself or I would have shot him.
When he argues?
Dude, Josh would argue because he didn't do a fucking chore, and he would argue to be right. To be right. He wouldn't do it.
He's just arguing because he wants to be
And
right.
I honestly,
And dude, that's an
and
instinct
it's
to defend yourself,
Yeah.
even if you're wrong.
It's
you know what I
natural
mean?
instinct, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not what the point of the argument is. And
No.
unfortunately, no argument is like that. When we had Joel on the podcast 2 weeks
Joel.
ago, Joel, and he said the same thing. I can't blame him for saying that. I really fucking can't, dude. You know, you guys ever see those videos of the stands where someone like sitting on a table,
Yeah.
someone like a debate me sign?
Oh, right.
Those motherfuckers are gonna come up to him just to be right.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're once they start to lose, dip,
Exactly.
boom, out of there. Just
Before
like that.
we wrap, I do want everyone to share their largest sacrifice. I think that's very important and how they overcame it. In terms of not just the podcast, because we kind of delved into that,
Yeah.
but just self-improvement. I kind of already shared mine with, what was it, the nights, Saturday weekend nights. I want everyone to kind of, I think that's very important, especially the title of the video.
Where should we start?
I was
This
going
way
to
or
say
that way?
Sash, but he has been talking way too much personally, so.
Damn.
This guy.
Do you have something to say?
Why don't we start with
I have
Sasha?
an answer.
All right, let's go. Well, we're gonna go like this.
My
Yeah.
answer is friendships. I sacrificed a lot of my friendships with my high school group, and yeah, it was a great time I had with them and everything like that. But it did come down to me asking what did I want more, and this is no hate towards them or anything like that, because they are a part of the reason why I am who I am,
Exactly.
where I am because of them, everything like that. So I do thank them endlessly, but with that sacrifice came growth through you guys. Look at the friendship we have now, a lot stronger than it was with them. And I can say that full-heartedly. And I know it's true.
Because you feel it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Those are the kind of things you feel.
I love that.
Love that,
I
bro.
don't know why you said
I
it
think,
so
yeah.
quietly, like you were trying to get depressed. Did anyone else realize
But I think
that?
it because
It's not really a happy subject.
yeah.
Hey guys, I lost my friends!
Bro was being real as shit, and you're over
That's
here.
what I'm saying, bro.
happy and
Let's
excited.
go, guys! I don't have fucking friends!
No, I'm glad you shared that. I think it's very important, and a lot of people can relate to that.
This guy, honestly.
That's that brotherly love right there.
Birthday, bro.
Georgie?
Yeah, for me it was almost like same thing because on Sundays I would be either hanging out with my friends, they would be coming over at my place we'd be watching soccer or UFC or whatever, or I'd be out playing soccer with them. But on Sundays we had to be here filming, so I couldn't really be doing that. It was also about time and like getting sleep because the next day I had to work out, and I would be like working out 3 times a day or twice a day, and it was really hard for me to get up early in the morning, work out, and have the energy to go through the day and work out 3 times a day. It was difficult, but I knew that this was also as important as what I had to do the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I knew that I had. It was like I had to sacrifice it. It wasn't like it was hard, but at the same time, that was like the big sacrifice that would build my character to be strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just
Resilient,
more, it was
yeah.
more. It was more like friends, time, and sleep. To be honest.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
No, that's good. Like you said, time. Like time, it could be for, like all of us could say time in general. Am I saying what I sacrifice for this podcast or just in general?
General stuff improvement.
Like I'd say just time for everything, bro. Like honestly, it's just like I've been doing this shit for a little bit over a year, and it's just been so much time. And what the internet expects you to do is to have a fucking full-fledged business build up in 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They expect you to, oh, you're 20, you don't even have a fucking business yet. You fucking loser.
And join the course.
Yeah.
Let me teach you how to get money.
Yeah, right. So like the internet, the social media, they all expect you to be this person in this short amount of time, but they don't really talk about the years, like the multiple years that it takes to actually be great.
Yeah.
It takes a lifetime to get rich, first of all. Like, you know what I mean?
You mentioned that in your video, you aren't actually doing bad.
Yeah.
That one, and I loved it. So, beautifully said.
Yeah, like
Keep going.
I said, like you're not doing bad if you think you're doing bad in self-improvement. If you're 6 months in, if you're 2 months in, if you're 3 months in, and you feel like you're doing bad and you're struggling, you're not getting to where you want to be, it might not be where you actually are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta really look at you gotta look at these things and be like, okay, like, am I actually doing bad or am I actually doing good? Time is really fucking important.
It is.
I think it's the ignition of that will dictate whether or not you're doing good. Once you start, are you continuing?
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on that.
And also with time, it's also just like you gotta love yourself. I love these guys, and I will give them my time. If you want to grow something, not even with yourself, with other people, you gotta give time and be patient.
Yeah.
That's the point I want to get across. Be patient. Learn to be patient. If you don't have what you want in a year, it's okay. Just keep going.
We love you too, Mike.
Love you guys.
Mike, we love you. Josh, what did you want to say?
If there's one, I'm gonna go real brief. It's probably sacrificing personal pleasure. I was a guy who just, no matter what it was, I just wanted to do what I wanted at any moment.
Yeah.
Watch your
Which is-
sports, jerk off.
Watch
Yeah.
sport. Even I love just playing sports. I still do, just playing outside, and I would just do it, personal pleasure, and it's kind of something I've sacrificed. I mean, yeah, you could say I'm sacrificing my mental health in a way, but you know, it has to be done, and it's difficult. It's difficult at times, but you always just want to say where do you want to be and understand. At least that's what's always fueled me, is understanding that I'm not where I want to be, and still have more to do.
Great.
Love
It's
it.
amazing.
Me.
With me, I'm gonna mention the podcast. The sacrifice with podcast is pretty much the self improvement, because it started before we started podcast, but it really happened during the podcast. Because with you guys, we really do build each other and stuff. So during that time, when we first started, we were, posting on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and then, editing a full video, plus recording, all that kind of stuff. So I was DoorDashing that time. And what I would do was, sometimes I would go out, DoorDash. If I didn't have any orders and stuff, I would sit in the car, make videos, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes not even go to work and stuff, because I knew this was important. Like it's almost like I was feeling this thing that I was like, this is for me, this is for us, and I'm taking it for the team, because I was like, if I take it for Saj, if I take it for Georgie, Mike, Josh, it's also gonna benefit me. So I was like, if I take it for the team and then the other guys also take it for the team, we're gonna grow as a team. And when it's 5 people, we all have to be leaders. That's gonna
Yeah.
push us up.
team.
So
Exactly.
Home team.
If we would acknowledge
Exactly.
the effort that you
Yeah.
put in, we would be more inclined to do the same.
exactly.
Which we all were from the start.
One of
Yeah.
the best parts of this team is no one's a leader. I mean, we're all leaders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all have to be leaders, and that's what pushes up to the top.
We're an army
Something.
full of lions.
Full of
Yeah.
testosterone.
No one.
Full of
Oh, yeah.
testosterone.
A lion herd. A lion herd.
No, it's one call. It's like I'm not feared by an army led by sheep. An army of lions led by sheep. I'm feared of an army of sheep led by a lion. That's
Oh, yeah?
that's the quote. So
Yeah,
my
okay.
lions were
Oh,
all
right,
lions.
yeah.
We're just
Well,
5 lions.
4.
It looks at Mike.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Funny.
Bro, sick of this shit. Bro,
Okay,
sick
can
of
we
this.
just mention? I just saw this right now. Quote of day again. I didn't write this.
It was literally like that.
It was up there. It was up there. Forget it.
Yeah, we didn't really-
Quote of the day.
I think from now on it's gonna be like that.
We're fucking keeping it. I don't give a
let's,
damn.
let's speed run them real quick. Quote of the day. Some people react to problems emotionally, which is weak. Emotions are frequently wrong. And when emotions go high, intelligence goes low. By Stefan...
Emotions aren't wrong, though.
Arnio.
Arnio?
Yeah, that's from the book Hard Times Create Strong Men. The one Andreas also.
Yeah.
Do you guys think emotions are wrong?
No.
No, I don't think emotions.
Emotions
When you
are
let them
natural.
control you, when you let them dictate how your life works out, yes, it's wrong. Because we all have emotional intelligence, so it's like emotions aren't wrong.
Well, what he actually says is emotions are frequently wrong. When which if that's the case, then I agree
Frequently
with that.
wrong.
Because, yeah,
Yeah,
frequently.
because
So there
Sure.
often can be wrong because it goes back to what we were saying with the
Frequent
debates.
means often.
Yeah.
Often your
Yeah, they're
feelings are
often
wrong.
I agree
How
with
you?
that. I agree with that. Because they often are wrong. Remember what we were just talking about with the debates and how people just want to be right instead of being like benefiting from it or trying to show someone a better way. Someone that wants to be right is being driven by their emotion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Literally. So
And emotions are pretty much personal too.
Yeah.
It's from your past experience or something that you feel
exactly.
somebody does. It might not be right to you, but other people might see that as a right thing. And when you jump out as a person to be like, no, you're wrong and I'm right, all that kind of stuff, that's gonna create a different image and different energy too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. It's this
it's your
way.
personal thing. You're pushing that out there. Should be thinking logic and say, okay, is it coming from my personal experiences, or is it something that's actually wrong to other people as well? So that's when you have to think.
Dude, even if it said emotions are wrong, like quotes are not supposed to be read as they are written, because there's other stuff that are before then and after that. So it's like emotions are even if it did say emotions are wrong, it would probably mean that like when emotions are controlling you, then that's when it's bad.
Because
You
it
know what I
says
mean?
that some people to react to problems emotionally, which is
Yeah.
exactly what you just mentioned. Shout out.
What's the shout
Okay.
I'll do a shout out. YouTube by Rendogs8711. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
I like that type of confidence.
This guy
I like
comments on a lot of our videos.
Yeah,
And he's pretty young too, and he's making
You guys
content
know?
and stuff.
You know?
He's right.
No, I just checked out his YouTube channel. He has like almost 200 subscribers.
Listen, bro, keep making
Seems
YouTube
young,
videos,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Keep-
you're doing a lot better.
keep
Respect,
doing
because looks like he's really on a self-improvement journey. He's probably not doing some stupid shit that young people do.
Resonates to him. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's got that same problem with every once in a
Keep
while.
going,
Foggy
bro.
Forest.
Keep going, bro. Consistency is key. You can.
So one thing I want to mention though before we even like stop this podcast
Oh my
is
god.
fuck, right? Like when you have four of the dudes like thinking, it's called like, you guys ever heard like the mastermind?
Yeah.
A lot of minds put together is called a mastermind.
Yeah.
We're always masterminding. That's why we make good progress, is because we are working our minds together. We think of new things. That's why you need to find your friends, find your group of people that you guys can think together. Work in packs. Stop being so alone, caught up in just doing it yourself. Find people who can help you.
Exactly.
In school, they teach you not to cheat. They teach you not to look at other people's tests, right? They do that for a reason, because they don't want you to work together. They don't want you to be strong. That's why you have to find friends and grow and destroy and conquer.
Dude, that's the same. That's the same example with lions. Like lions are not even compared to other animals. There are other animals that can beat them one-on-one easily. But what makes lions strong is they are so good at working as a team. Same with wolves. They're not as strong separately, but they're so good together that they can conquer and take over any other animal, pretty much. Same with
They got
people.
that loyalty. They got that they're just working together no
Exactly.
matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Find
teamwork
your
makes the
passion.
dream work.
Yeah.
And they're not friends, they're family.
Family.
Yeah.
Guys,
With that,
with that
Think
being
big.
said,
think
Think big,
big,
go
go
big.
big.
Peace.